Goodbye, Old Air Purifier. Hello Virus Fit. Remove more than just dust and haze. And eliminate airborne viruses with All Clean.
Goodbye virus. Hello Magic. SK Magic.
This is KiniNews and I'm your host Prasad. It's not often a person is described as having ultimate power, but in the case of 1MDB, that person is supposedly Najib Abdul Razak. Former 1MDB Chief Financial Officer Azmi Tahir testified that he followed Jho Low as Najib Abdul Razak was the ultimate power over the Sovereign Wealth Fund. He said this during today's 2.28 billion ringgit corruption trial against the former Prime Minister before the Kuala Lumpur High Court. Azmi told the court that he was hired as 1MDB CFO in 2012. At the time, Najib's then Chief Secretary, Azlin Alias, introduced him to Jho Low. He claimed Azlin introduced Low as Najib's 1MDB advisor. Azmi also claimed that when he met Low at KLCC around June 2012, the businessperson told the witness that all directives from him and Azlin were the mandates from Najib and therefore must be abided by. The witness claimed that he was also told by Azlin later that Low is an advisor and close person to Najib and that Low would provide information or directives that the witness needed to carry out as it came from the then Prime Minister. Azmi claimed that during his time as CFO with 1MDB, Low made behind-the-scenes arrangements on the orders and blessings of Najib. Azmi also claimed that Najib had ultimate power in making any decisions, especially involving investment, financial decisions and national interest. A couple of months ago, it was revealed that the government spent 30 million ringgit renovating the PM's official residence. Now we find out that millions more has been spent on the maintenance of various government offices. Over 4 million ringgit has been spent by the government on maintaining the offices of 14 ministries and departments since 2020. This was revealed by Special Functions Minister Abdul Latif Ahmad in a parliamentary written reply. He said the maintenance was carried out from time to time to ensure they are in good condition. Latif added that the maintenance costs involve repairing damaged wiring systems, damaged ceilings and worn carpet and furniture. The costs also included installing video teleconferencing systems in offices and meeting rooms of administrative members. The largest chunk of the maintenance cost, over 1 million ringgit, went to the Prime Minister's department, according to a chart provided in the written reply. In September, the government was criticised for spending over 30 million ringgit on the renovation of the Prime Minister's official residence in Putrajaya. Rosmah Mansor is worried that the judge in one of her cases may not be very fair to her, so she's trying to get him out of the case.
Rosmah Mansor has claimed that there is a risk of the judge Mohamed Zaini Mazlan being prejudiced and biased against her. This is why she is seeking to recuse him from hearing her 7 million ringgit money laundering and tax evasion case. Rosmah's defence counsel, Gitan Ram Vincent, told Malaysia Kini that the primary ground for recusal was an alleged conflict of interest. Gitan claimed that this took place when Zaini allowed the prosecution to tender her MACC caution statement in her separate corruption case linked to the 1.25 billion ringgit solar hybrid energy project in Sarawak. The lawyer contended that this brings a risk of the judge not having a fair mind when hearing Rosmah's money laundering and tax evasion case. The caution statement is in relation to her 7 million ringgit money laundering and tax evasion case. Zaini is presiding over her money laundering and tax evasion case, which has yet to go to trial, and also her ongoing corruption trial linked to the 1.25 billion ringgit solar hybrid energy project.
PN is expected to be wiped out in Melaka, but the coalition remains optimistic.
Bersatu won just 2 seats in Melaka in 2018 when it was part of Pakatan Harapan. Meanwhile, Bersatu's current PN partners, PAS and Gerakan, won 0 seats in the state that year. However, now Pakatan National is confident that it can win the Melaka election. This is despite pundits predicting the possibility of a total wipeout for Bersatu and PAS. Bersatu Information Chief Wan Saiful Wanjan said PN remains realistic in their expectations that they have a good chance. Speaking at a press conference in ICRO, he also said the people see that PN is a coalition that's focused on looking after the people. However, the coalition still remains mum on its chief minister candidate. Wan Saiful said PN would like to leave it as a mystery for now.
Now we have a message from our sponsor. When we're back, I'll tell you which cabinet minister has tested positive for COVID-19.
shellfish, red meat, and beer. If you love indulging in these foods, you may end up with high uric acid level in your blood. These foods consist high level of purine, a substance that will eventually break down into uric acid and be excreted through our urine. It is recommended that the amount of dietary purines should be kept between 600 to 1000 milligrams per day. Having too much uric acid in your blood can cause attacks of gout. It can also cause kidney stones and blockage in the kidney. The crystallization of the excessive uric acid in your blood can be eased by reducing purine-rich food to only 100 to 150 milligrams daily, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and consuming urinary alkalinizer like Ural. It consists of sodium bicarbonate, citric acid, and sodium citrate that increases the urinary pH and solubility of uric acid to prevent crystallization. Best of all, it's lemon-flavored and sugar-free. Ural, effective urinary alkalinizer. Neutralize your uric acid problem now.
Taqiyuddin Hassan wasn't in Parliament today, and another minister had to answer a question on his behalf because he has tested positive for COVID-19.
Energy and Natural Resources Minister Taqiyuddin Hassan has been tested positive for COVID-19. This was revealed by Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar. Wan Junaidi covered for the past minister during the minister's question time this morning.
Minta maaf Datuk Yang Tua, saya mewakili menteri oleh kerana menteri masih terkena penyakit COVID. Saya dimaklumkan bahawa saya mengambil alih tugasan untuk menjawab perkara yang amat penting ini pada pagi ini.
It was reported in mid-September that Taqiyuddin was under quarantine following close contact with a COVID-19 patient.
The Malaysian tourism industry has been hurting even though domestic travel is in full swing. That's because of the absence of international travel, and the government is going to do something about it.
Malaysia will open its borders to international tourists by January 1st. The decision was made by the National Recovery Council, chaired by Muhyiddin Yassin today, to address the sluggish tourism industry. Muhyiddin said the tourism industry's recovery process has been relatively slow due to the absence of foreign visitors. Muhyiddin said the council was also briefed on the economy by Chief Statistician Muhammad Zaini Mazlan, who said the country's economic performance for Q2 2021 was still below pre-pandemic levels except for the manufacturing sector. Muhyiddin said the government will undertake more efforts to ensure the country hits its economic goals, however he did not elaborate. In August, Bank Negara forecasted the GDP to grow by 3 to 4% this year after the country's economy contracted by 5.6% last year.
After Melaka Awards, it will be Sarawak's turn, and it's going to cost the government over 100 million ringgit, 150 to be precise. The upcoming Sarawak state election will cost 150 million ringgit. De facto Law Minister Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar said the cost will include election equipment, ITC development, logistics and election worker allowance. He added that the cost will include other needs, including COVID-19 equipment and taking into account the election implementation in accordance with COVID-19 guidelines. Sarawakians are expected to head to the polls next month as the State Legislative Assembly was dissolved after the Yang di-Pertuan Agong lifted the localised emergency in the state. Sarawak saw 416 new COVID-19 cases yesterday, the fourth highest in the country. The state also recorded 13 COVID-19 deaths yesterday, the second highest after Kedah. Critics have accused the ruling coalition Gabungan Parti Sarawak of rushing the election to avoid the implementation of Undi 18. Physical campaigning in Melaka has been crippled due to COVID-19 restrictions, and Anwar Ibrahim wants the CM candidates of each coalition to be given space to debate on television.
Anwar Ibrahim has welcomed Communications and Multimedia Minister Anwar Musa's plan to give all parties contesting in Melaka airtime on national television to campaign. The PKR leader suggested a television debate between each coalition's Melaka Chief Minister candidate. He said this could catapult Malaysia's name as a country with a healthy and mature democracy. Harapan's Chief Minister candidate is Amanah's Afli Zahari, who held the position from 2018 to 2020. BN's candidate is incumbent Chief Minister Sulaiman Ma'ali. However, Pakatan National has yet to name its CM candidate. Meanwhile, Bersatu Vice President Muhammad Rafiq Naizar Muhyiddin is believed to be a front-runner.
That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Prasad. Thank you for watching.
As the ministry responsible for driving our country forward through science, technology and innovation, the recognition of this award to companies, agencies and individuals who bring positive socio-economic impact to society is timely, as it can serve as the motivator for the industry, community and others to always be mindful of innovation, despite the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic. This effort also complements the national development agenda based on the spirit of keluarga Malaysia. Akhir kata, kepada para pemenang, remember this: you have knowledge, and when you practice knowledge, you will get skills. When you practice skill, you will get habits. And when you practice habits, you will get attitudes. And you practice attitude, you will get the right culture.